What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video.
Today we're going to be going over how you can super clean the interior of your vehicle in just a few simple steps in a very short amount of time. This is my 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, and today I'm going to be showing you around, and we're going to be going ahead and cleaning this thing up, and we're going to have an interior that looks just as good as new. If you're new around here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content just like this. And without further ado, let's get right into cleaning the interior of my Alfa Romeo Giulia. All right, so first things first, we're gonna start with the materials you're gonna need to clean the interior of your car. First thing is you're gonna want a good vacuum, whether that is a shop vac or a standard vacuum. Like this is my vacuum for inside my house, but it has good attachments and helps me get the job done with cleaning the floors and kind of dusting off the car. And then what else you're gonna need here is some products, obviously, to actually clean the interior. So first things first, I have this here. I promise that since it's sponsored by Chemical Guys, I'm not sponsored by them, but I do like some of their stuff, so that's why you see their products here. But this is gonna be a hydro interior cleaner. This is just kind of like a ceramic detailer for the plastics and any of the other kind of surfaces, just to bring back some shine and to really kind of disinfect them. And then as well, for the leather here, we have a leather detail spray, which cleans, restores, and protects. This is just nice. It kind of decontaminates the leather. And then if you really want to go the extra mile, I also have the leather conditioner that I kind of buff in after the fact. And to actually clean this stuff, what I have here is a soft bristled brush, and that's just to kind of scrub in to any of the areas. This is great for the leather. It can also be used on the plastics and kind of hard to reach places like getting inside the air vents, kind of dusting off the vehicle and the screens and all that. And of course I have a towel to buff everything down and an applicator pad to help me get into some of those other spaces. So not a lot of materials here that you're gonna need, but a few things to help make the interior look mint and smell good and protect it and make it last for a long, long time. All right, so now let's actually get into the cleaning process of the interior. First thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna remove any garbage or any trash that is lingering inside the car. Obviously this is kind of a gimme, but I have some things here. As you can see, some wrappers in the door bins there. We're gonna wanna pull out and kind of throw this stuff out, and also gonna wanna check inside the vehicle. So I got my sunglasses, but as you can see, I've got coins and some wrappers and stuff, and just clean out anything that's maybe lying on the seats in the back or anything that's kind of in the cup holders. Just throw out any of the garbage and make this car, garbage free before we start really working on the interior and cleaning it up. All right, so after you've taken the time to remove any garbage from the vehicle, both in the front and the back, or even in the trunk too, what I like to do in the next step is to vacuum out the interior. So as you can see here, the rugs kind of have a lot of grass and dirt on them, and the seats as well have some hair and some stuff that is not so desired. And you can tell here on the door panels, there's some dust and some debris. So I like to give everything just a light vacuum, especially the floor mats, and I'd like to take those out as well and kind of scrub under and get under the pedals and all that. And I like to do that to all four corners of the car. Another optional step here is you can actually go ahead and, when you take these mats out, is if you have one of these like the Bissell carpet cleaners that actually washes with a solution, just another step you can do. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and just vacuum all four corners of the car, and I will come back when I have done so. Alrighty, so as you can see here, I've gone through and I've vacuumed out the carpets. Now there's still some hair and a little bit of imperfections. Again, you can see around kind of the pedal area. It's not quite perfect, but it does look a lot better. Again, we're trying to do this kind of on a time crunch here, a just quick and easy way that you can clean the interior without too much work. Now again, like I said, you can go through and kind of steam and clean these carpets and really bring back the nice rich black color that they had, but in the interest of time, I'm just doing a light vacuum. And so I've done that to the seats. I've kind of dusted off the crumbs and getting in the kind of high trouble areas over there, and the floor mats, and I've done this around the whole vehicle. Alrighty, and with that, the next step is we're gonna want to go ahead and we're gonna wanna clean off the leather seats here. Now, there's leather on a few different parts of the car. So obviously the seats are made of leather, the armrest there is leather, The steering wheel itself is leather, and we have some leather pad portions here on the door rest as well. So we're gonna wanna go through, and what I'm gonna do is I have my cleaner here. So I have my Chemical Guys quick leather cleaner. What I like to do is just spray a large amount onto the seat, and then I take my nice soft bristle brush here, and I like to go ahead and just kind of work it into the seat, really scrubbing all over, getting into those kind of areas that are cushioned and hold crumbs and get pretty dirty pretty easily. And you just want to go over the whole seat. Make sure you do the back of the seat as well. I'll put more on there. You're going to want to scrub the whole seat, and then you take a clean microfiber cloth and you go ahead and you're just going to want to wipe the seat off. And you step back, you should have a nice clean seat, and you just want to make sure you don't leave any behind, otherwise it'll kind of leave some spots on there. But I'm just going to go ahead and you're going to do that process for the seats, the armrests, and the center console, and then I'll show you the difference it makes on the steering wheel, how big of a difference just cleaning the seats can do and giving it a little scrub. So let me go ahead and do all of that, and then I will get back to you guys in just a sec. Alrighty, so now I'm inside the car. I've just finished cleaning the seats with a nice leather cleaner, as well as the center console and the door panels and stuff. But now we move on to the part of the car that most people kind of forget about and don't know is actually one of the dirtiest parts and touch points inside your vehicle, and that's the steering wheel. So I want to show you guys already just how much dirt might not come across on camera all that well, but we did pick up a fair amount of dirt just from the seats themselves. Kind of see it there on that part, but I want to show you how much dirt comes off of the steering wheel when we clean it. Now, a shiny steering wheel, if I just kind of zoom in here, as you can see, the parts where the hand grips go are pretty shiny, and a shiny steering wheel does not indicate a clean one. If there's anything you take away from this video, it's that your leather should not be shiny after you're done cleaning it. Your leather should have a nice kind of supple, almost satin matte sheer to it, and it shouldn't be very greasy or oily. So as you can see here again on the sides of my steering wheel, we're starting to get some oils at the top as well, where my hands go most of the time. So what we're gonna do is the kind of same process, but instead I'm actually gonna put some of the cleaner right onto the bristles of this brush itself and just get in there and kind of scrub. So I'm gonna do this half of the steering wheel and leave this half clean, and then I'm gonna try to show you guys the difference of what a clean steering wheel and clean leather looks like versus a dirty side of the steering wheel. All right, so I've just soaked my bristles and this brush in the cleaner here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a good right. And once the steering wheel is nice and covered and you've scrubbed it pretty good, I've also decided to do half the airbag there so you can see it better. You take your microfiber cloth and just go ahead and wipe the whole steering wheel down. But as you can see now, if we come over here, it's a lot more matte compared to this side. Now, it might not pick up on camera as well, but as you can see the difference here, this is kind of where I stopped cleaning, and we have a nice clean finish on this side, and it's much more darker and black leather, whereas this side looks a lot more dried out, and you can tell it feels a lot greasier. It's a little bit harder to see on the steering wheel, but if you look at the airbag, you can tell we have pretty clean, very satin matte finish there. And then if we come over to this side, it is not as clean, looks a little greasy, it's a little cloudier, and just not quite as nice. And you're definitely going to want to focus on those high touch point areas like the thumb grips there. It just makes a world of difference. As you can see, this is kind of, it's almost, if you could feel it, you could tell it's a little more dried out, whereas this feels a little bit better now that we've kind of scrubbed it and attacked it, and it's a lot smoother and it's not as sheer. Now again, you can hit this a second time if you think it's not quite as good, but I'm gonna show you guys later. We're gonna go ahead and condition the leather as well to make it just look that much better. Alrighty, so once you've finished cleaning all of the leather, as you can see, the steering wheel looks nice and it has a nice matte finish and it's very smooth to the touch, as well as the seats and all the other kind of leather spots inside this vehicle. The next thing we're gonna wanna do is kind of go ahead and detail the center console area and all of the plastics and you know, the kind of wood trim finishes and all of the screens and stuff that are surrounding the vehicle. So what we're gonna do is a kind of similar process. So I have my Chemical Guys Hydro Interior Cleaner, and again I have my
bristle brush that I've cleaned off and dried so that we don't have the leather cleaner on it. And I also have a new clean microfiber towel. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna come over to the center console. I like to start with this first, close everything up, and kind of the same process. I go ahead and just spray everything down, and then I go ahead and I get my brush and I just kind of get in there and I scrub all of the surfaces down with the cleaner. Now, the nice part of having a brush is actually allowing you to get into those kind of hard to reach surfaces like you can see around the shifter there. If you were to just, use a towel, you could just theoretically spray everything down and wipe it off, and that still works and it's an effective way to clean. However, if you really want to get like into spots like this and really make your interior kind of stand apart from others and really be detailed, the brush helps you really get into those hard to reach nooks and crannies and take away any of the kind of crumbs or anything that will be left in those surfaces, and really just give a much nicer and cleaner finish at the end. So you go ahead and you just kind of scrub everything down like I have here, and then again you're going to take your microfiber towel, and this is the part where you just go over everything and wipe it all down. Get in there, get those crumbs out that are hard to reach as well. Like in here, I mean, it's impossible to clean in there sometimes unless you have a nice brush or something of the sort. So when you're done kind of wiping everything down, what you should see is that you have a clean trim finish. As you can see, nothing on the shifters for the gears here or in the drive modes. I've removed the fingerprints from the shift lever, and it's a nice process, and it just, again, very simple and fast, yet it gets the job done effectively. All right, now the best way to clean this screen, now as you can see, there's a few spots on my screen and a little bit of dust. And now this is not a touch screen, so I'm fortunate to not have to deal with fingerprints or anything. But the best way to clean a screen like this or something that has a touch screen is actually just take a microfiber cloth and dampen it a little bit. So we already have a little bit of that residual cleaner that we had for, down here as well. And really all you're gonna do is just take that and swipe it back and forth a few times. And that will not only help to pick up the dust, but that will remove fingerprints if you have fingerprints, and spots if you had spots before. So as you can see, the spots we had over here are gone, and it's dusted, and it gives you a really clean and sheer finish to the screen without having to put any harsh chemicals or really scrub. It's just as simple as a damp microfiber cloth that's soft. It'll pick up dust and remove any spots. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean any other trim pieces. So like the buttons on the steering wheel here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually scrub the dash, because this dash is not leather, it's injection molding. So you can use this cleaner on it and kind of dust everything off. Any of the trim pieces over there, the door handles, as well as the window switches. And go ahead and just kind of clean everything using the same process as we did for the center console, and I will get back with you guys when I've done so. I also just real quick want to show you guys a few kind of tips and tricks for cleaning your interior. So if you have your bristle brush here and you want to get inside the vents and dust them out, you just take your brush and go across the vents as well, and then you can kind of wipe it out with your towel. And same thing if you want some bonus points, is you can actually spray some of the cleaner in here into the cup holders, and you can go ahead and scrub and make sure you get the kind of plastic area around as well. That's just a nice attention to detail. I want to also touch real quick on two other commonly missed places when in cleaning your interior of your car are the kind of turn signal slash wiper stalks. People often forget. I mean, you touch these a lot in driving. Think about it. Maybe unless you're a BMW driver, but you use these a lot, and you can see mine are kind of getting a little worn and there's some spots on them. So again, same process. You can scrub it down or just wipe them down with the solution and the towel, and those will bring some life back to it. And as well, I like to scrub as my last thing before I'm kind of done, because I don't want to get this brush on any of the other surfaces after I've touched the pedals. But the last thing I like to do is go ahead and actually scrub down the pedals with the solution and then wipe it off. Now, you want to be careful when you're cleaning your pedals, as you don't want to use anything that's going to be very slippery, as that could seriously cause some danger when you're driving. If your foot were to slip off of it and accidentally hit the other pedal and vice versa. So you want to make sure that the best way to do this is actually with just soapy water that will get in there. You can scrub it with the brush and wipe it off, or you want to make sure that your sealants don't have, or your cleaning solution doesn't have any kind of sealant in it that's going to make it slippery. I've tested this before, and this does not make the car slippery at all, but I just like to go ahead, kind of get in there with the brush and then wipe it down, and it really brings back some life to these pedals. So it's just another step you can take to really make this interior cleaner, and it doesn't take very long. Just adds that little piece de resistance to your fully cleaned and beautiful interior. And one more thing real quick, guys, is you're going to want to go ahead and clean your seat belts. I know a lot of people forget about this, but this is another kind of high traffic point in your vehicle, and that can get kind of gunked up, and actually, if it gets dirty enough, can stop it from really working in its proper fashion. So get in there with your brush real quick, scrub it down, and then go ahead and just wipe it off. And voila, it brings back that beautiful red color to the seatbelt and keeps you protected down the road. All right, so at this stage of the process, your car should be looking pretty damn clean on the inside. If we take a step inside here and we look around, as you can see, the seats look 10 times better. Our center console is so much cleaner. Everything looking top notch. But there's one final step we can do to really protect this car and make it look just that much better, bring back some color to this interior and some life while protecting it at the same time. And that's going to be conditioning the leather. Again, this is from Chemical Guys. I am not sponsored by them, but I just find that their products work pretty well. So what you're going to do is use some of this on every kind of leather surface, and I have this kind of foam applicator pad that just helps to kind of buff it in. And what you're going to do is just take a big dollop of it around, kind of spread it around, let it sit for a sec, and then buff it off. And that just brings back some shine and helps to really protect your leather in the future and keep it soft and supple, because as you can see on my steering wheel here, this car is 7 years old, so it's starting to get a little harder, a little firmer, and a little bit greasy. So this just helps to keep it in that nice state, in that soft, supple Italian leather feel, and keep the interior of your cabin nice and premium. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this last step. I'll show you guys just a little bit of it, and then we'll be done. Alrighty, and like I said, the thing we're gonna do here to condition the vehicles, we're gonna start with the seats, and then I don't have too much of this left, so it's gonna make some funny noises as it's trying to come out here. Take some of that conditioner, just kind of rub it in over the seat. Just give it a general rub, and you can see this is gonna bring some color and some deepness back to the leather, and you're just gonna wanna spread that all around. Make sure you're getting it in the cracks and the crevices as well. And this is gonna look shiny at first. And I know I said shiny is not good, but trust me, when this dries, it leaves a matte coat, and it just helps to deepen the color of that leather. And as you can see, just doing the bottom, compared to this is a lot more flat, and this is a lot more of a dynamic color, and it's gonna give you so much more protection and help to keep that leather silky, smooth, and soft. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to all of the leather surfaces, including the steering wheel, and then we'll be done, and I'll show you guys the finished product of the interior clean of my Alfa Romeo Giulia. Alrighty, and just like that, we are done. As you can see here, the leather looks nice and black. There's not any spots on it. It's soft and smooth and not too greasy. And if we come to our center console, again, there's not spots everywhere. We've dusted everything off. There's no fingerprints on anything, especially on the screen. As you can see, if I take a step back, it's nice and clear. We've cleaned off the dashboard, so that's all dusted and cleaned. We've gotten our door panels nice. We've vacuumed our mats and our floors, as well as cleaned our pedals here. So we've just taken a few minutes with a few steps to really amp up the interior of this vehicle, make it look showroom ready with a pretty minimal amount of work. If you do this, once a month or once every other month, I guarantee your car will look 99.9% better than a majority of the vehicles on the road, because it's just a few simple steps. Most people don't really clean their interior at all. So just a few simple things, if you take care of your vehicle, can make it look that much better. And it's really not too hard of a job to do. So if you guys did enjoy this kind of cleaning process on my Giulia, please be sure to let me know in the comment section. I appreciate you guys giving me feedback on the videos. I try to make some high quality videos for you guys. I know this one was kind of rushed and wasn't the greatest, but it is hot outside and I'm trying to film and clean and keep the bugs out. So forgive me if it's not the most polished video ever. But if you did enjoy, show your support by liking the video, subscribing, and commenting down below. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.